everyone? We gotta go over Bitcoin. As you can see here, Bitcoin has dropped down to 76.3K right now, down 1.6% in the last 24 hours. So we got to talk about what's happening inside of Bitcoin. There's some interesting stuff cooking up inside of Bitcoin. So anyways, without further ado, we're going to go over that. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice, but let's get straight into it. So we're going to start here on the weekly chart. As you can see here on the weekly chart on Bitcoin, we're at 76.3K here. As you know, we have still been going through the same pattern, which has been our bear flag. And we're still in there, and we're actually coming down to the bottom half of this bear flag again. So that's what it looks like we're doing right now. And we also got rejected at the 200-day moving average, which is the white line up here. So now we are seeing that pull back to the bottom area of our bear flag, which could bring us anywhere around 72 to 73K pretty soon. So we got to see if that's going to happen. But yeah, that's one of the major things that's going on with the price. And if you look at that percent R trend exhaustion, this is the weekly chart. You can actually see that it's curving sideways, almost like it's preparing for another downtrend right here on the percent R trend exhaustion. So that's what I'm waiting for here on the weekly. And then when you also look at this, I know I talk about it all the time, but you can see the divergence that we're building. Yes, we are building bullish divergence, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we're just going to take off right now, right? Because if you look at the divergence chart here, we are getting lower lows on the charts and higher lows on the MACD for the bullish divergence. So I know I talk about it all the time. It's going to start sounding repetitive, but you know, this is how it is when you're trading and you're doing technical analysis, right? You're just waiting for that moment for what you're waiting for to happen to actually happen. And that's exactly what's happening now. So as you can see here, we're getting the higher lows on the MACD and the lower lows on the chart. So now it's just going to take another lower low, which is exactly what we're going through now. So that's what we're waiting for here. And once some selling pressure starts coming in here, we'll start to see a formation, something like this. You'll start to see those red candles. And then from there, it'll go back into the green candles. And that might be the last sell off for the cycle here towards the end of the year, September, October, August, around that area. That's the area that we're looking for here. And then we're going to get these higher lows on the MACD while we simultaneously get lower lows on our charts. So the next low should be lower. And that's why I keep talking about 50K, because, you know, that's just the next area for us to land. So that's what it's looking like from the long-term perspective on the weekly chart. That's what you guys got to be prepared for. I think 50K will be a good range to watch out for if this does start dumping hard. And then we also have the daily chart, which something important just happened here on the daily. As you can see here, we broke down below the 50-day moving average on the daily chart. And then we just kind of got a little bit back above it and then immediately back below it again. So this is almost like it's about to confirm that bearish movement downwards, right? On the daily chart, it's about to confirm that. But we just have to wait for this one to close below it. Because as you can see, this green candlestick closed above it. The red one did close below it. But the green one, the buy candle, closed above it. And then this one above it, that one above it. And now this one, we need this one to close below it. So if we end off today in the red, that means that we're probably going to end up being bearish here inside of Bitcoin. So we just have to wait for this next daily candlestick to print out, see what happens, and see if we can print out below it. All right. So that's what we're waiting for here. And then as we pull back, again, we're looking towards 71 to 73K, somewhere in that range to see where we'll land. All right. So that's the daily chart. And then on the MACD, on the daily chart, I was talking about this before, our bearish divergence, seeing the lower highs here on the MACD and the higher highs on the chart. And this kind of just confirms everything that we've been talking about, because, you know, we're just seeing the higher highs here on the chart while we were getting these lower highs on the MACD, which is what we were just now looking at, which is bearish divergence. So that means that we're getting that selling pressure in now, and it's probably going to start speeding up soon. So this is almost like another way of them trapping the bulls. All right. So we'll have to wait and see how it is, but it is looking super bearish for right now. And then the percent R trend exhaustion on the daily chart, it was going up for a while, but now we're seeing that it's occurring sideways, kind of going down a little bit. So I want to see like how much further does it go down, because if this long-term trend doesn't follow that short-term trend downwards, and the white line here is the short-term trend, if it doesn't follow that short-term trend downwards, then we'll start to see the price slowly grinding upwards, right? If the long-term trend does that and then the short-term trend just decides to shoot straight up, the price is going to go parabolic pretty much. So that's what I'm waiting for with that as well. So that's why I said I have to see that close on this daily candle below this 50-day moving average, so just to see if it's going to remain bearish. So if it does close below it, then really going to be targeting like 73K soon on Bitcoin. So that's what I'm looking for on the daily chart. And then when it comes to the 4-hour chart, which is much more of a short-term chart, obviously, we're starting to get a little bit of selling pressure coming back in. Not much of a divergence on this chart, but we are starting to see the sellers are taking over, because, you know, the whole time it's going down, you know, it's just selling off and selling off. You can see on the MACD, whenever that buying pressure comes in, it's not that significant. It's not significant enough to reverse the pullback that we've been having. And I'm circling these areas because if you go back and you look at all these areas, none of them really had big buying pressure, except back here. That was the only large amount of buying pressure. But since then, it's been in the negative when it comes to the MACD. No matter how much buying pressure comes, the selling pressure just keeps showing that it's selling off harder. So that's just kind of cash flow right there, just watching how the money is flowing inside of Bitcoin, and it's definitely looking more bearish than it is bullish. So that's what I'd have to say about that. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on the technicals though. But kind of getting into some of the other stuff on Bitcoin, this is coming from Crypto Rover. Someone just now burned 107 Bitcoin. So someone just now sent 107 Bitcoin to a burn wallet, which is equal to $8.5 million worth of Bitcoin inside of 5 transactions. And I actually did the research. I was like, all right, ChatGPT, give me the burn wallet for Bitcoin. And they gave it to me and I looked it up. And here is that wallet. So that wallet here is now worth 8.2 million right here. But this is the burn wallet for Bitcoin. So that's pretty interesting that this happened like that, right? That's pretty interesting. And you can see this wallet has never sent any money out of it because it's the burn wallet. It started in 2010, August 10th of 2010. So that's when it started. And since then, it's gotten 807 Bitcoin inside of the burn wallet. And if you think from the start of Bitcoin until now, like they only have 807 Bitcoin and they just received 107 of them. So that's a huge, significant increase in the burns for Bitcoin, right? So that's huge. That's actually very big. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see how that plays out and see if they send a lot more. But it probably tells you that the institutions, you know, they got so much money, they just don't want normies to get their hand on anything. So they're just like, you know what, let's just burn this amount. We don't even need it. Like, yeah, it's a lot of money, but we really don't need it. So let's burn it so they don't get a hold of it, right? That's kind of how it's looking. But yeah, this is all I got for you guys today. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know what you guys want me to go over next. Go ahead and become a member of the channel. Only $9.99 per month, and you can have me go over any stock or crypto as long as it's not a low cap scam coin. So go ahead and do that. And as always, I'll be back with another video.